Wednesday's storm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, marked the rainiest day in the city's history and a 1-in-1,000-year rain event. CBS News senior weather producer David Parkinson is here to explain more about this rare weather phenomenon. These we call them rare, but it seems like they are happening with increasing frequency. It's 1 in 100, then all of a sudden it's 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, and so when we say 1 in 1,000, it means in any one given year you have less than a 1%. You actually got a 0.1% chance of something happening. And instead of those probabilities bearing out, we're actually seeing multiple ones of those happen per year. We had a couple just in the span of 1 month. But what I want to point out here is just what happened, which is this tiny area right around Fort Lauderdale. That is it. This is the extent of your record rainfall. Down here in Miami, they got about 6 inches of rain, but right here by the airport, that is where they got 26 inches of rain. So it really was localized, and you can see the rain just sit over that Fort Lauderdale, Broward County area, and there it is, hour after hour after hour. And when you have that, that's how you get these sort of record flooding events. So what do we mean by 1 in 1,000? I recognize that there's a ton of numbers here. This is gonna kill people here, right? But so it's based upon time. So in a 12-hour interval, we'll go right across here to a 1,000-year event, and you get 21 inches. So in order to have a 1 in 1,000-year event, you need to have 21 inches of rainfall in 12 hours. We did 26 in 8 hours, so we blew through that. If you had a 1 in 100-year event, by the way, you would have needed 13 inches of rain, which is still an insane amount of rain to pick up in 12 hours. But to show that, we literally doubled the amount you'd have in a 100-year event. And thus, we have a even rarer than 1 in 1,000-year event.
So if a 1 in 1,000-year event can happen more frequently, are they going to have to be redoing these tables?
Yes, they are. I mean, that is really going to be the problem is that ultimately these are calculated off of old data. And as the planet warms, for every 1 degree things get warmer, you get 4% more water vapor in the air. And when you have more water vapor in the air, there's more to get wrung out. And we saw that all throughout 2022. We saw in Death Valley a 1 in 1,000-year event. We saw one in Dallas where the streets were flooded there, in St. Louis, in Effingham, Illinois, and in Hazard, Kentucky. All of these happened in the span of about a month. And these were the events in 2022. You go back to the hurricanes that we have had over the last several years. Certainly Harvey was a 1 in 1,000-year event. Ida in New York City was a 1 in 1,000-year event in some places. So it's these rain bomb events that we are seeing more and more frequently.
And just briefly, the connection to climate change, people seem to jump to say climate change. Is it just the extreme weather? We see more of that, or is there something else?
Yes. So we are seeing an increase in heaviest precipitation events, 27% in the southeast, 55% in the northeast, because when you think about the southeast, you're used to these sort of tropical events. The soil can handle some really heavy rain, but not 26 inches in the span of 8 hours. So yes, climate change is making these events more common. It is that because there is so much more moisture for the storms to wring out that we are seeing this happen more and more often.
Wow. All right. Thanks so much for a little context here. Those pictures from Fort Lauderdale today are just unbelievable. Thanks very much, David Parkinson. We appreciate it. For more on the severe storm threat in the South, here's meteorologist Jackie Jarris from the Weather Channel.
Just can't catch a break in parts of Florida right now with more heavy rain and flash flooding across the region. Now, we will see some improvements as we head into tomorrow as our Gulf Coast low works its way up towards the north and east. That will take the bands away from Florida and work it up towards the Carolinas. We've had record high temperatures, New York City, 90 degrees, and now we're going to be dealing with some active wet weather. Showers and thunderstorms could be expected. A few of them may be severe as they work through the Carolinas and then on up into the mid-Atlantic as we head through your Friday and into your Saturday as well. Damaging winds, the most likely form of severe weather here. That would include you in Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh, all the way down towards Augusta, Georgia. And then a new system, the one that's going to help kick this thing out of here, is approaching in from the west. Into the plains tomorrow, we may see some severe weather breaking out. Large hail, most likely across parts of Kansas and Nebraska. And another day of severe weather on Saturday across the Mississippi Valley. For more in-depth coverage, watch the Weather Channel on cable and now live on your favorite TV streaming device.
All right, Jackie Jarris, thanks so much.